Are you aware that from 1000 sea turtle hatchlings only one reaches adulthood? Evolutionary, they already have huge challenges to face before reaching their maturity. Over the past century, humanity has significantly exacerbated these challenges. Dalyan, a small but touristy town not far from where the Dalyan River meets the Mediterranean. And exactly this delta that is formed by the river is the main reason we came here. Not only the delta is worth a visit, there are thermal mud baths, the ancient city of Caunus, including the rock tombs, which can be seen from Dalyan itself, and there is also Itzuzu Beach, an important place for many animal and plant species, a place that has often been threatened and for which many people have fought. Historically, the main character in the story is Kaptan June Haimoff, an English environmentalist who lived in Dalyan from 1984 until her death in 2022. She lived in a little hut at Itzuzu Beach, which is one of the most important nesting grounds for the loggerhead sea turtle in the whole Mediterranean. The loggerhead, along with all other sea turtles, are nowadays in great danger and special protected. In April 1987, plans came up to destroy the beach and sacrifice it to a hotel complex which would accommodate 1,800 people. NGOs like Greenpeace, IUCN and WWF, alongside June Haimoff and many other locals, started protests to stop these plans and the destruction of this unique environment. Today, Dalyan is well known for their turtles. Many tourists come to catch one of the countless boats, bringing them from the town center to the mud baths and through the delta until they reach Itzuzu Beach with the sea turtles. These boat tours are probably the main income source for most of the locals. Many offer these boat tours, but also for other locals, tourism is the main income source. I guess due to the willingness of tourists and also expats to spend money, Dalyan seems like a rather expensive place in Turkey. Especially the prices in restaurants are much higher than in other areas we've visited. But let's finally have a look at some of the places to be. And let's start with the Caunus ruins. It is a walk of about 20 minutes from the center of the town, and you gotta use one of the ferries to get there. These ferries can load up to 4 cars, a bunch of people, bikes and other stuff. They are crucial for transport as there are no bridges, and the alternative is a 1.5-hour drive around the Caunus Lake. The Caunus ruins date back to the 9th century BC and offer a fascinating glimpse into ancient Carian civilization. Once a prosperous city, Caunus was an important hub for trade and culture. Today, the ruins attract visitors from all around the world, offering a captivating journey through ancient history amidst a picturesque natural setting. The strategic location on the Dalyan River and its proximity to the Mediterranean Sea made it a vital port facilitating trade and cultural exchange. Over time, the city experienced various influences, including Greek and Roman, which is evident in its architecture and artifacts. The absolute highlight for me was the well-preserved amphitheater. You can even see the seats carved in the stone. You can visit all the areas of the theater and can imagine how it must have been to look at the audience. Nowadays, you can give great performances to the olive trees, which are the residents of this place. Also here, nature has already taken back what once was occupied by humans. During our walk through the ancient town, we saw a lot of Greek tortoises. We got used to their presence during a hike on the Lycian Way, as they are quite common in the region. Above the city, there are the ruins of the fortress. From up here, there was a great view of the delta. a unique ecosystem, and as I told you, the main reason we wanted to get here. Our idea was to rent kayaks and explore the delta on our own, searching for the African softshell turtle or Nile turtle. The species is listed as vulnerable in Africa, and here in the northern Mediterranean area, the Dalyan Delta is one of their last refuges. These turtles prefer quiet areas and don't respond positive on human disturbance. The biggest threat in the Dalyan Delta is likely the loss and degradation of the natural habitat. As human development expands, it often encroaches upon the wetlands and nesting areas where these turtles reside. Pollution and habitat destruction caused by factors such as urbanization, agricultural activities, and tourism can disrupt the nesting sites and feeding grounds. Additionally, illegal collection for the pet trade and accidental capture in fishing gear pose further risks to the population. These cumulative pressures contribute to the decline of African softshell turtles in the Dalyan Delta and underscore the importance of conservation efforts to protect their fragile ecosystem. We tried all we could to rent kayaks to get around the delta our own way, but we learned that kayaks are prohibited from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening, and the many tourist boats also cause a big threat to kayakers in the water. So sadly, our main intention was cut down quite fast. I don't really get it, cause motorized boats are definitely a way bigger harm to nature than kayaks, but trust me, you will not understand everything in this video. Luckily, there is a lot more to see and do in Dalyan. During the famous boat tours, tourists not only visit Turtle Beach, but also the mud baths. You can imagine that during the season, these places are overcrowded as hell. But we luckily got a great hint. So yesterday on the rowboat ferry we met, or the rowboat taxi as it is called here, we met an older couple that has been living here for the past 2 years, and they told us about some other thermal springs. Now we're gonna go and check it out or see if they screwed us over. On our way to find the hot springs, we also came across another freshwater turtle species that we have seen a couple of times now, the Balkan terrapin, also a quite common sight in southwestern Turkey. This was probably one of the most beautiful hot springs we have ever been to. Incredible water, it is quiet and off the beaten track. Locals as well as tourists who get to know about it care for it and respect each other. So you see, Dalyan has a lot to offer. And some of these places are well hidden and you only get to know them when you talk to the locals. Other places are exposed to tourism. Mass tourism, you could say. Those who pay the price are the locals as well. In this case, the locals are the sea turtles. Let me explain. Itzuzu Beach, as you know now, is a very special place. But not only the beach, also the surrounding delta and the forest nearby have special protection because they are home to rare and endangered species as the Nile turtle, Phaselas or Lycaean salamander, or the oriental sweet gum. Many bird species come to hunt in the shallow waters of the delta like herons or kingfishers. The beach itself is the cleanest I've seen in the last couple of years, and so far there is nearly no infrastructure on it. If turtle nests are found, they will be marked so nobody accidentally steps on them, and entering the beach after sunset is prohibited. When you walk along the beach, you will get a feeling for the importance of why this place is protected and why people keep on fighting for it. Next to the hut where Kaptan June used to live, there is a sea turtle hospital, DEKAMER, the only one of its kind in Turkey. A small place which has a little exhibition on the threats that sea turtles face due to human ignorance as well as previous successes in conservation. You can visit the patients as well. In 8 big pools, they recover from their injuries. In the best case, they will fully recover and be released back into the wild. Others stay here for years and are still waiting and hoping to make it back to the ocean. Not gonna lie, this was one of the hardest things to see on our whole journey. The species that you can see here are loggerhead turtles. You can identify them by their big head and that they have a kind of a beak, because they feed mainly on crustaceans and other invertebrates. And the other species are the green turtles, with a significant smaller head. These 2 species are the only 2 that lay their eggs on the beaches of the Mediterranean as well. But what are the injuries that bring them here? All of the turtles that are here are or are most probably victims of a collision with a boat. Some are lucky and only have a damaged shell where there is a higher chance for recovery. Others have a kind of whiplash injury or air in their shell that prevents them from diving. Private and tourist boats are increasing in the last couple of years, but also other boats, ferries, jet skis or cargo ships are a threat to the animals. The faster the boat, the higher the risk of a collision. And this brings us to the point where I understood there is a huge problem with tourism here. The first thing was they don't let us drive kayaks through the delta, but hundreds of mainly motorized boats are okay. It is debatable because too many kayaks in the narrow arms of the delta could cause harm as well. I get that. It is the hypocrisy that bothers me here. After talking to the people working at the turtle hospital, we heard that some of the boat tour operators feed the turtles to attract them to the boats. So everybody could say that, right? We don't have any proof, do we? Well, I don't, but YouTube is full with videos like this. And what is the problem here? Well, by feeding them, the turtles learn that boats are potential food sources and don't necessarily see them as a threat. And so the collisions during peak season of course increase a lot. And that's not only due to the increased traffic. I also mainly don't clearly see what is fed to them, but let me say this. Bread is nothing that fits the diet of a sea turtle. In my opinion, there we have a huge problem. Due to massive conservation efforts, this place is actually kind of a paradise. And it's sad to see that it's still misused by greedy tour operators and ignored by tourists, and it is apparently more important to have more likes on Instagram than the well-being of the animals. I understand that not everybody has the knowledge or the common sense that human interaction with animals often causes more harm than good due to misleading social media videos, for example. But here, at least the tour operators know what they are doing. They do. And authorities should know and care too. I also understand these people make their living and feed their families with their money, but I will never understand and never tolerate that it always has to harm other living creatures, in this case even endangered species. So this is a request I got for you when you are planning on going on tours that include animals. Please make sure you book with experts, with rangers, biologists, with people who care for nature and the animals. Please don't visit zoos, don't visit aquariums, don't visit dolphin shows or any of this bullshit. Visit places like the Turtle Hospital in Dalyan. Go there with your children, show them how their behavior can impact other creatures, educate yourself on the topic. Other living beings, other living creatures are not here for our entertainment. We share this planet, we share this place with them, and in exchange for all of the harm that humanity already has caused to this planet, we should protect and care for them. So DEKAMER are the good guys, right? Well, they do a great job in caring for injured animals. But there are also articles I came across which let me question this a little bit. In 2019, there were a huge conflict between DEKAMER and some local NGOs because there came plans up to build a huge turtle-shaped hospital on the beach. Thankfully, they have met fierce opposition and protests from local NGOs, citizens and tourists alike, because it is a violation of existing protection statuses and would be a serious threat to Itzuzu as one of the main nesting beaches in the Mediterranean. Alternatives have been discussed, but so far DEKAMER has stayed where it started in 2009. So, is there need for a bigger hospital? Yeah, probably. Should it be built on one of the most important nesting grounds of the whole Mediterranean, of the very species that they are trying to protect, and in the process destroying more important habitat for very rare and sometimes endemic plant and animal species? Fuck no! The intentions of DEKAMER are especially questionable, as there apparently are alternative sites to build outside of the protected areas. So, thanks to incredible efforts of Dalyan locals in the last couple of years, this place still is as wild as possible. And luckily, the locals don't stop protecting this place, be it with regular cleanup campaigns or other projects to protect the beach, the delta and the forest. DEKAMER doesn't do everything wrong either. As I said, they do a great job caring for injured animals. I've also read that they are trying to gradually convert the boats that travel in the delta to electric propulsion and are supporting the operators in installing propeller protectors to make them a little less dangerous for the turtles. Please don't take this video as bashing anyone. All I'm trying to do is giving a voice to those who don't have one themselves. So, some last words about Dalyan and our visit there. It is a nice little town with many great people living there. As we have shown, Dalyan and the surroundings have a number of beautiful natural and historical places that are worth visiting. Especially Itzuzu Beach is a huge success story where the cause celebrated a big victory over profit and greed on multiple occasions. And the people should continue to protect these treasures so that in the future there will be even some more turtles again in the Mediterranean.